Hello and welcome to this LinkedIn event. We're glad you are here and looking forward to sharing some important information around the event topic. Why is it so hard for high wage earners to save for retirement? My name is Travis Fertini, and I've had the privilege of being in the financial services industry for over 20 years, working with the author of the book, Wealth Beyond Taxes, Mike Barber, for almost 15 of those 20 years, assisting him in designing plans for high income earning clients. So here with me today is Mike Barber, the author of Wealth Beyond Taxes.
Thanks, Travis. I've spent over 40 years in this wonderful industry, and as I've grown and learned, it's just a privilege at this point in my career to look back and see all of the information, all that's changed, and have recently written my book, Wealth Beyond Taxes. So we're going to describe some of the common issues that has been my experience, and let's get started with that.
That's perfect. So Mike, let's tackle that question. Why is saving for retirement so hard, even for high wage earners?
Travis, it seems that there are some things in common to many people who would consider themselves high income earners when it comes to how they save for retirement. Here's the first one. Life just gets in the way. Maybe you've decided to start your own business, establish a medical practice, get married, starting a family, and of course, purchasing your first home. Lest we forget, those children of ours need to go to college. Now, the result of that from a financial perspective, Travis, is often we don't really start saving for retirement until we're in our 40s. And then we look back and we find we started a little bit too late. We missed out on years of contributing saving to our retirement plans.
Well, Mike, I've read your book, Wealth Beyond Taxes, where you identify over 6 major reasons high income earners are challenged to save for retirement. Share with us the 3 major ones that you want to talk about today.
Sure. Travis, there is so much information. We're going to be producing several events like this, but today we're just focusing on 3 of the most common that I find that high income earning people are many times misunderstanding or misinformed about how these work. So here's what we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. Social Security and a 401k, underperformance in investing, and taxes. That's quite a bit to tackle, wouldn't you say, Travis?
Absolutely. Those are big ones. Mike, what I would imagine is many high income earners believe that contributing to the Social Security system and the 401k will provide adequate retirement income. Share with us why this may not necessarily be true.
Well, neither Social Security nor a typical 401k, Travis, are designed to provide the level of income in retirement for high income earners. Let's break this down.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to use a client of mine, Dr. Brooks, as an example, and how I led him on a path of discovery in addressing these issues. Dr. Brooks is 40 years old. He, in fact, is an ophthalmologist, and he's currently earning about $600,000 a year. His Social Security contribution is limited to only the first $147,000 of his income. In other words, his Social Security contribution only covers about 24% of his total income. Now, the flip side of that, when Dr. Baker retires at about age 67, in today's dollars, his Social Security benefit would be about $3,300 a month. That's only $40,000 a year. Travis, that's 15% of his $600,000 of income. So you see, when you look at the numbers, that Social Security doesn't nearly compensate a high income earner at retirement?
Well, Mike, I think a lot of our clients feel like that's going to be enough, right? And there's a lot of professionals out there that think that that's going to be enough. So if we just realized it's not, is the 401k the solution? Will that be enough, Mike?
What a great question. And all high income earners need to understand this. There are very similar limitations in a 401k as what we just looked at for Social Security. Now, let's talk about Dr. Baker's situation again. He did set up a 401k hit for his practice. Part of his motivation was he wanted to benefit his staff. And 401ks have always been retirement plans that provide for the staff as well as for the business owner. Now, Dr. Baker has an office manager. She runs the practice on the business side. She earns about $80,000 a year. And she is allowed under IRS law to contribute a maximum of $20,500 this year. Now, if she did that, Travis, she would be contributing 25% of her income. Now, here's the problem for Dr. Baker. He has the same $20,500 limit on what he can put in to the 401k. That's only 3.5% of his income that he can put into Social Security.
Well, that's clearly not enough, Mike. So what I'm hearing based off these two examples, Social Security and a 401k will not provide the retirement income that your doctor needs, which is what's going on with most high income earning clients, what they actually need. So what can we do about this?
Well, Travis, this is one of the reasons I wrote the book, Wealth Beyond Taxes. It's to present not just the problems, but real solutions for high income earners like Dr. Baker. We'll talk more about this toward the end, but for now, let's address the next major roadblock.
All right, Mike. Well, what about this next major roadblock? What about investment performance? If I get a good rate of return in my 401k and other investments, can't that be part of the solution?
Travis, that's a great question. And that's what many savers believe, but let's consider that. According to Bloomberg, another factor that limits the ability to save is that 95% of individual investors underperform a basic index like the S&P 500 by 4% or more. Although underperforming the market definitely impacts your long-term range results, it is not the most important variable. According to Principal Financial, 74% of your income at retirement is driven by how much you save. Only 26% by what you earn on your savings. Why do most advisors focus on the 26%? My experience is they don't have an answer to that. The bottom line, Travis, invest too little and underperformance of the investment is a recipe for failure. A more current observation in the volatility in the markets, investors like Dr. Baker are seeing huge losses across their investment accounts.
Well, so not saving enough is a big part of this. Mike, what can be done about this challenge?
Well, that's another reason for my book. Dr. Baker, after reading my book, took advantage of one of the strategies I suggested. He was able, Travis, to literally bulletproof part of his retirement funding by eliminating the risk of losing money in the market.
Okay, Mike, you've shared your insight on Social Security, 401ks, and rates of return. Let's talk about taxes. I think this is the third one we're discussing. Most people think that taxes will be lower in retirement. Do you think that taxes are going up or down in the future?
Travis, every indicator I look at says we're going to face higher taxes in the future. One of the big fallacies is that you think when you retire, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket. Well, most people do not want to lower their standard of living when they retire. And even if they are forced to, the taxes may still be higher because of the enormous debt we have in our economy. Now, this is certainly the reality for someone like Dr. Baker. He's earning $600,000 today, just at age 40. He's going to be looking at even higher income levels over the remaining years of his career. Travis, he is already at a 35% tax bracket. His concern is what if his bracket, what it will be at retirement, and what if tax brackets are actually higher? Travis, I'd like to ask you a question to kind of make this point.
Sure.
What if I was a banker and I walked up to you and handed you a check for $1 million? And I said, Travis, I'm loaning you this money. I say no more, turn on my heel and walk away. Might you have a question or two? You would probably ask, what is the interest and repayment conditions? If I said, we have plenty of money now, but when we really need the money back, we'll tell you the interest and the terms of repayment. Would you take the money? Most people would say no.
Right.
But that is what we do when we put money into any tax deferred retirement plan, like a 401k or an IRA. There may be $1 million in the account now, but with the government in control of the tax bracket, how much of that is really going to be yours in the future?
Wow, Mike, that is an incredible example. And you put that in great perspective for most of us. Most of us never think about that, and it makes absolute sense. Seems to me like taxes may be the biggest issue and is overwhelming when you think about it. After all, then, now that we know this, what can we do about that particular issue? Taxes.
Well, you're right, Travis. We can't predict it, much less control the future tax rates. What we can do is consider alternative ways to save for retirement. Let's talk more about that as we come to the end of this LinkedIn event.
Okay, great. Mike, you've shared 3 top roadblocks that high income earners are facing in saving retirement. Would you comment on the solutions that are available for these individuals?
Absolutely, Travis. Remember, I only covered 3 of the roadblocks. There are others that are just as important. They are all contained in my book, Wealth Beyond Taxes. Now, more important than identifying the problems, the book offers real solutions to these challenges. Now, Travis, I'm not going to give away any specifics, but here's what I will say the reader will learn about the concepts and strategies, just like Dr. Baker took advantage of. Here's a few of those. A retirement funding plan that has unlimited contributions. Put in however much you're able to afford to save into that plan. Now, one of the most interesting features of this plan, it only requires 5 years of contributions. We use leveraging and matching contributions to help the investor catch up on all of those lost years of contributing. That's one of the biggest informational pieces of the book, is how we use leveraging. Now, as I mentioned, there is what we call a no loss guarantee. This particular plan, you cannot lose money when the market goes down. Now, the last thing we talked about, Travis, was taxes. Here's how that applies. You save, you earn, you don't take any risk, you can put in unlimited contributions. When you're ready to spend the money, if you use the strategy outlined in the book, that income at retirement can be tax free to you. Doesn't get any better than that, tax-free income.
It sure doesn't. I can't imagine anyone that's on this event, Mike, wouldn't want to know more about this incredible opportunity to take advantage of these benefits. Mike, tell us how someone like your client, Dr. Baker, can get a copy of your book.
Yeah, Travis, we're going to do that. Now, I wanted to make one comment just to be clear. If you'll notice on the book title, it says how ophthalmology and optometry professionals are using the tax code. These are the people I started working with, but these strategies apply to anyone who earns the type of income that we indicated, Dr. Baker. You don't have to be an ophthalmologist. You can be any high income professional. So now let's talk about how to get a copy of the book and what the next steps are.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Travis, the next step is for anyone interested in this concept called Wealth Beyond Taxes to receive a copy of my book. That's very easy. It starts with scheduling a 15-minute phone call with me. Now, why do we need to talk? Well, there's a number of different reasons, but as the author of the book, I want to make absolutely sure that the person asking for it is if my book is going to be something to help them with. So that's why I would like that brief phone call. And once we have that, then the person that qualifies can expect to receive a complimentary copy of my book, Wealth Beyond Taxes. Travis, I've made 3 different ways that someone can schedule that call with me, depending on their preference for being in touch. And so, as you can see on this particular slide, I have my email address. So someone may copy that off and just send an email, and then my office will be in touch to schedule that phone call. Option number 2 is that person can call me directly. So I provided my 1-800 number. There's a voicemail attached to that for after hours. My office staff will pick up that call and be in touch with anyone who calls to make that 15-minute phone appointment available to you. Now, the third one is an online booking where we can use QR code. So here on our final slide, we have this QR code. Those of you who are a bit more tech savvy know exactly how this works. You'll take your phone, your camera, bring it up close to the QR code. It will take you directly to the website where you can schedule that 15-minute call and find a time that works for you and works for me. So looking forward to hearing from those who are on this event and would like more information. Travis, thank you for being my co-host and look forward to having many conversations soon.